Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, Derek Fisher, James Worthy, Mike Trudell's out in OKC. The Lakers are now down 2-0 to the Thunder as they come back home Saturday for Game 3. And so many attributes, James and Fish, and we talked a lot about them in the pregame show, make this OKC Thunder team a championship team. Tonight it was their depth. The bench scored 48 points. They hit 9 threes. The Lakers were up 69-64 with just over 8 minutes left in the third quarter, playing some really good basketball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the bench with 4 fouls. OKC goes on a 29-11 run. The Lakers in that third quarter, just 7 field goals made, 8 turnovers. Mitchell, Wallace, McCain, Williams, all those guys making huge contributions. Hartenstein had a great game. The Lakers' fight was there, James. The battle was there, just not enough to steal this one on the road.
Gita, the things you just mentioned are the characteristics of a championship team. You know, they don't rely on any one player, even though they have mega stars on the team. They don't rely on them to win basketball games. They rely on them to, you know, support the win and help dominate in some cases. And if you look at what they were able to do with Shai in foul trouble, you know, Wallace, the guys you mentioned, McCain coming in, you know, Holmgren doing his thing, and Hartenstein at times with his little floaters, they just continued to play the game. So, and the Lakers just didn't have enough runs. Oklahoma had a lot of runs in their tank, and every time the Lakers seemed to make a push, Oklahoma was right there. We just couldn't knock down shots again. You know, the inability to, you know, make buckets, timely buckets when we needed to, just wasn't available tonight. And they, you know, they have guys that just plug in and get the job done, whereas our bench, you know, effort was there, but just can't compete with the bench of the Thunder. So a lot of positives to pull away. You know, you want to win your home games, but when you don't have home court advantage, you got to win one on the road. So things are still possible. You'll go away, you go home, try to get a game at home.
Yeah, I mean, the outcomes are the outcomes. I mean, the #1 team in the league, #1 seed in the West, best defensive team in the league. They're supposed to protect their home court by the math. So it's not really the end of the world that they won 2 games at home. In a playoff series, it's like you're trying to find the right recipe to win one game that then allows you to start to feel like, okay, we have the right combination of things that will allow us to beat this team a second time. And then you build from there. And so there were more things tonight that were moving towards a better recipe that you can hopefully bring back to LA as you prepare for Game 3. But the biggest piece of it is eliminating the unforced errors. There were some possessions tonight where just
careless,
a bad decision with the basketball, not just because of Oklahoma City's defensive pressure, but just a poor decision with the basketball that also led to points given up off of those turnovers. And those are ones you just can't have. I mean, you're playing the champ. You have to knock the champ out. You're not going to win a decision. It can't be a 50-50 type of battle. You have to knock them out. And so far, they haven't gotten close enough to doing that.
Turning the ball over. We talked about this every single game in the Houston series. This was going to be key for this Laker team. 21 of those tonight, James, that led to 26 points for OKC. And as Fish mentioned, I think he put it perfectly, a lot of these were just ill-timed, for sure, but just bad decisions, right? And that's where Oklahoma City will suffocate you and separate even more. So all that fight that you had to get back in the game, cut it to 5. Now it's back to 12.
Yeah, and it happens quickly with Oklahoma because they can hit you from all different areas. Possession of the basketball is critical, particularly in a series with Oklahoma, because you have to take care of the basketball in order to, you know, at least make the defense work a little bit, Geeter. When you turn it over, things happen quickly, momentum changes, and then before you know it, you're down 5. Next thing you know, you're down 12 or 15. So possession of the basketball is huge. I know that the Lakers are trying to take advantage of situations, maybe try to get, you know, situations before the defense gets set. But they have to be aware of the basketball and not turn it over, because you just can't do it with any team, but particularly you can't do it against Oklahoma, who seems to benefit just about off every turnover that you make.
Yeah, and I think the other part, you know, we used to battle against the San Antonio Spurs often, and we'd feel at times like they were getting the benefit of the doubt of the whistle, right? Like the way they played defense, maybe they were smart, that, you know, their hands would be in there, but then maybe they pulled their hands out at the right time, whatever it was. And we had to learn the energy wasted on the referees, the complaining, the talking, getting into back and forths, et cetera, was just energy that didn't go into, like, what do we need to do this next possession to be successful? And that's one thing that the Lakers, I think, can kind of put away coming into Game 3. Like, don't even say anything to an official.
Yeah.
Bad call, bad whistle, should have gone the other way. Either the coaching staff is going to challenge it or not, but just get ready for the next possession. And then that energy that you're conserving and saving can then go into, like, not turning the ball over 3 or 4 possessions later, making clearer decisions with the ball, because you're not allowing your frustration and your energy to build up a certain way.
Let's talk OKC. I think the Lakers are doing about as good a job as you can on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. Yeah, he had 22 tonight. He had 13 after 3. He was only 7 of 13. He got to the line 9 times, made 7 of them. He's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to get calls. But it was the balance of this team led by Chet with his 22, A.J. Mitchell 20, Jared McCain again with 18, Kason Wallace 12, and Isaiah Hartenstein was 5 for 6 for 10 points. A.J. Mitchell, guys, was fantastic. 20 points, 7 of 12, got to the line 7 times, and really navigated and ran this team when SGA was out for those 8 minutes. Jared McCain is now 8 for 10 on the series from 3, and the confidence is absolutely through the roof. Those two guys kind of led the way, James.
Yeah, who's remind you of? Remind you of one of those dynasty teams that this guy played on, where they could hit you with Shaw, Fish, you know, Lamar Odom, Robin Horry. You know, we're not even talking about Kobe and Shaq yet. So Oklahoma is setting the tone for what teams better start looking like. Okay, you better start looking at the variety, not depending on one player. Guys coming off the bench who could, you know, pretty much be all-stars or potentially start other places. They're setting the tone for what an NBA team is going to have to look like in the future if you want to win. And so, you know, you have to be patient. You have to be, you know, able to control your emotions, like Fish said, and a lot of variables go into a game when you're playing a team like Oklahoma, because you can't just concentrate on 2 or 3 players. You got to concentrate on a system, and they just plug in players and they just come in and they just knock you out, and ready to do it quickly too.
Yeah, I mean, James is right. You think about the 2 teams that played in the NBA Finals, last season, Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. 2 teams that play a very, very balanced style of basketball. Their best players, yes, they're statistically impactful, but the ball moves around with a lot of freedom. And a number of players, multiple players, feel free to be who they are and play their game. The Lakers have a similar space. You can tell, like, Austin Reeves feel comfortable. Rui, obviously, when Luka's in the lineup. LeBron's offensive production. Luke Kennard. But there's just a consistency in the energy that OKC brings in terms of multiple guys trusting their shot, trusting going out to make plays. And look, you tip your cap. They won their 2 games at home. Another game tonight where you're up 5 in the 3rd quarter this time. The first game, you were down by 4 with 6:40 to go in the 3rd. Tonight, you're up by 5 before the run happens in the 3rd quarter. So again, your recipe, you're mixing some things in and out, and you got a little closer tonight to it being a good dish, but you have to add it up some more and figure out a way to win Game 3.
All right, guys, we talked about that bench scoring as I show you what this OKC team did tonight. Here are the numbers. In Game 1, 34 points. In Game 2, 48 points. You see the field goal percentage, a ridiculous 55%. And look at the 3-point field goals. 8 for 17, 9 for 19. 17 for 36 in this series so far. That, my friends, is a huge, huge difference, James.
Yeah, the value of the three ball, Geeter. I mean,
but you're getting it from
8 for 17,
all
9
the bench
for
guys.
19.
I mean, that's the bench.
And not only that, Geeter, they're moving the basketball. Look at that, 10 assists, 12 assists. So they're not just like, coming in, shooting a lot of shots. They're continuing to play Oklahoma basketball. They're passing, they're moving, they're making the defense work. It's the same, as the starters. So. Good team.
All right, guys, time to hear from Coach JJ Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
Initial takeaway from you, anything that kind of stood out the most?
Well, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, them being +9 in the non-shade minutes, and then, in the second half, we just got blitzed, 32-14, 7 turnovers. They shot 14 free throws during that stretch. So we'll look at lineups, we'll look at everything, try to figure out how we can be better in those minutes.
You said you expected Austin to have a bounce back. What did you see from him tonight?
I thought he did a good job, touching the paint, and, those touch shots were there tonight. Got some good looks from 3. He played a solid game. Obviously, he had 5 turnovers, but everybody on our team had turnovers. You can start seeing like some trends here, and we probably need to go back to the 2 keys we had against Houston, which is take care of the ball and box out, because it's not on high volume, but they've killed us in both games. Every time they've gotten an offensive rebound, they've scored.
JJ, you got a technical in the first half. Multiple players had really long, extended conversations with refs. What was sort of at the core of those frustrations tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I sarcastically said the other day they were the most disruptive team without fouling. I mean, they have a few guys that foul on every possession, and all the good defenses do. SGA gets like I don't even know, a touch foul, I guess, on the drive. There was a stretch where 4 straight possessions, our guys got absolutely clobbered trying to make an entry pass to Jackson, and Jalen Williams is grabbing his jersey with both arms. That's a turn. They're hard enough to play. They're hard enough to play. You've got to be able to just call it if they foul, and they do foul.
Along those lines, I mean, LeBron has, I think, taken 5 free throws here in 2 games. Have you seen him be like attacking and downhill, and are you surprised he hasn't been able to get to the line more?
Well, he gets clobbered on that one, with Jalen Williams coming over trying to block the shot when he spun baseline on Dort. That was in that stretch as well. LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen. I mean, I've been with him 2 years now. There's, again, the smaller guys, because they can be theatric, they typically draw more fouls, and the bigger players that are, built like LeBron, it's hard for them. But he gets clobbered, and he got clobbered again tonight a bunch, and that's not like a new thing. That's not specific to this crew or, this series. He gets fouled a lot. That doesn't happen. I mean, guy gets hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called. So.
Do you think composure was a factor at all, or do you think because of the kind of the blatant things you're talking about, there's no other way to react than to point out?
Oh, no, but our guys were so good tonight, just staying together and poised. The emotion's part of basketball, and I think some of the reason they're officiated the way they are is because they don't show emotion, and that's a credit to them. I mean, they've really taken the emotion out of the game. They're super tight-knit. They don't complain to the officials, and they, maybe they're the beneficiaries of that. I don't know.
JJ, yesterday you were talking about the non-SGA minutes, how you had to win those minutes or be even. First half you won them, and then he goes out with that 4th foul, 10:53 left in the 3rd quarter, and then I think it was -18 for you guys with SGA not on the floor. I know the refs part of that, but what do you attribute that to?
I'm just letting you know how the game was officiated. It's not that we didn't lose because of the refs. That's never the case. You don't lose because of refs. You lose because the other team outplays you. Oklahoma City outplayed us.
They shot 13 free throws, I think, in that stretch I'm talking about.
And a lot of them were fouls. I mean, a lot of them were fouls. But again, we're not putting 2 on the ball in that stretch, and so we've just got to be better, and we'll look how we can be better on both ends.
Anything else?
Multiple times, LeBron, they went on runs, and you guys were able to counter and just be resilient and hang in. I think 3 different 7-0 runs. Where has that come from this team all year, and where did you feel like in the 4th when you tried to go to it? What was OKC able to do?
I mean, we played well in spurts. You know, we had some really good minutes up and obviously through three. You know, we was able to take a 5-point lead in the third quarter, and then they made a run, obviously. In the fourth quarter, they kept scoring. They were really good, but exploiting matchups and things of that nature. But we had a good game plan. We tried to execute that as close to 48 minutes. I just didn't get it done.
Them forcing turnovers is what they do better than anybody. You guys know you have to not turn the ball over. When a team is that good at it, what is it? Just you have to be that much sharper, and then how does that play out in these first two games?
I mean, I don't know. We've had opportunities. I think offensively we've had some really good looks. Some of them haven't went down to the paint. Yeah, we've had some turnovers. I don't think. I mean, today it wasn't that many where it was like careless turnovers. You know, some of them was being aggressive, and be okay with that.
When we spoke to JJ postgame, he was pretty irate about the officiating. We saw you have some discourse with the refs as the game went on. How do you feel like the officiating was a factor in those runs that they were able to put together,
We're down 2-0.
JJ said that of all superstars that you have the worst whistle that he's ever seen. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
When you were talking about that run in the third quarter, SGA goes out with his fourth foul, 10:50 left. You guys are up 5. And then, I guess, you know, without SGA on the floor, the MVP, they go on that big run. Why has the non-SGA minutes in this series so far not gone the way you guys want?
Are they not good when he's not on the floor?
Yeah, you guys are minus 12.
No, I'm saying, are they not still good when he's not on the floor?
They're better than when he's on there.
So they're just doing what they've been doing, right?
But what are your conversations like? You're one of the stars of this league. When you talk to referees, with the conversation back with you, entertain, anything at all that, are you satisfied with their answers?
No.
What's your happy?
Yeah.
You guys obviously are down 2-0 here. Did some things really well in these two games. What are the things that you think you can build on? Where are the biggest areas you think that there's real room to make up?
I mean, I think tonight, you know, we did a good job with our first defense. We got a clean glass. We got to do a better job. We let Chet get some offensive rebounds and some putbacks, either get to the free throw line or get some putbacks. Versus a team like that, you can't, you know, give up second chance points. We did a great job in the Houston series of, you know, as the series went on, of being better at that. So we got to do a better job of hitting, you know, and not allowing them to get second chance points. We're able to hold a team like that to a first stop. I think we can get better at that.
Are those baskets, especially when you're playing a team where you know you have to be so close to perfect, like, are those like extra deflating, like the game plan lasts?
Yeah, they can be. I mean, it all depends when it happens, at what point in the game it happens, so they can be.
What did you see from Austin? He had a playoff career high. I know the game doesn't go in your guys' favor, but him getting in a role offensively, what were you seeing from him?
Austin being Austin.
All right, time now for
the ultimate difference in the game.
Third quarter. I don't know.
The kind of end of the third quarter run.
22-36 in the third quarter without Shea on the floor. I think that was the game.
JJ talked about maybe trying to get back to the points of emphasis against Houston, and not just the turnovers, but in the rebounding. He felt like some of those offensive rebounds, even though there weren't a ton, were impactful. Did you see that on the floor as well?
Yeah, I mean, we had 20 turnovers for 28 points. 26, 21 turnovers for 20 turnovers for 28 points. It's hard to win games like that.
We don't see you that visibly frustrated with officials that often. You had 2 pretty extended interactions today. What had you so frustrated?
I felt like I was respectful to all of them all night. I mean, there's a million times in the past I've said way worse stuff. And when we were doing the whole tip ball, when they were switching spots, I wanted to get on the other side because they had a guy on the other side who was just trying to keep an advantage. And he turned around and just yelled at my face. I just thought it was disrespectful. You know, the whole time that was going on over there, I don't think he said much to them. I think stepped in and said something. But you know, at the end of the day, we're grown men, and I just didn't feel like he needed to yell in my face like that. I told him that I wasn't disrespectful. I told him if I did that to him first, I would have got a tech. I feel like the only reason I didn't get a tech is because I knew he was in the wrong. So, yeah, I felt disrespected.
JJ talked before the series just about the amount of physicality they play with, the whistle that they get. How have you guys handled their physicality through 2 games? What do you think you can do better?
Yeah, it just starts with turnovers, I think. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to have turnovers. Just trying to eliminate the live ball turnovers where they get easy, fast break layups or threes or dunks. Try to limit those, and they're going to grab and hold. I think they're top 5 in basically all defensive stats and 23rd or 24th in fouls called on them per game. So they do a really, really good job of not fouling, and they get a lot of deflections, steals, stuff like that. So you just got to clean that up.
How did your legs feel today?
Last question.
Great.
Were there any areas of the court that you were looked to on film or looked to get to that just allowed you to kind of get your rhythm? And where did you feel like that built throughout the night?
Nah, I just played basketball.
Having seen OKC in the court now for 2 games, what are the things that you can take as you go back to LA? Do you feel like are the biggest areas of focus to try and turn the series around?
Yeah, they do a good job of capitalizing on turnovers. Obviously, that's going to be a big thing for us. We knew that going into it with their physicality, and we got to stay poised, under control when they go on those runs. And I think we've done a pretty good job of it overall, but it's going to take a full game, full 48 minutes. We've been in great positions throughout the game, taking the lead into halftime, which is huge. But again, we need to take care of the ball, get great looks down the floor each time when we can, and try to capitalize on those.
Your rotations have been a little different in each game, but the second group that they come in with kind of the 3 guards, they're really fast. They've had some success in both games. What have you seen from that OKC group, and where could that be? Where could adjustments come?
Yeah, we got to be ready and prepared, and those guys come in. They're a spark for them on the floor, and we know that. We know what they can do, and it's on us to try to be better, especially when Shea's out of the game. They've won those minutes, and that's on us. It's on me, and we have to be better with that. And